Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
happy
Good
Town
morning.
Hall Day.
Happy
Happy
Town Hall
Town Hall
Day.
Happy Town
Day.
Hall Day.
Good morning.
How's everybody out there doing today?
I'm pretty good.
I'm doing
Caffeinated.
good.
Yeah.
I'm great over here. Thank you.
Very good. It's nice to see everyone again. Welcome to our, what is this, January 19th, 2024 Town Hall. We've been doing these weekly for, gosh, like a year and a half now, I think, aside from a couple of holidays here and there. I would like to let everybody know what's going on, how the game's progressing, what kind of stuff we're working on, answer some questions, just kind of hang out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll get all those notifications so you know when the next ones are coming out. And share the video with your friends. There's a link in the description to play the game. We've also got an AMA question form that I usually put in the announcements on Wednesdays, on Leaky Wednesdays now, and that's where you can ask questions.
Awesome. Who we got today? I see the captain. Edie Lugs. Hey now. Jecton. Tida. Was chatting with Rust Kip a little bit. Dubstep. Good morning.
Always nice to see everybody's faces on a Friday.
What gent?
Awesome. Let's get started with some headlines.
All right. What's up first?
Looks like the light paper is up first. It's still in legal review, though, so we don't have it yet.
Hmm.
But as soon
Look
as
at
that process is done with legal, you all will be the first to know, after us, obviously. What else we got for headlines here? Rewards. We did send some Anything Goes rewards out just the other day. So those are out now. And I think we might have some social media stuff.
Just a few things. Just been seeing some really cool stuff on the Zealy, and other than that, yeah, I mean, just ran a little poll about how you guys normally like to take your coffee, and for some reason, a lot of you guys said straight black, which is okay. I respect that. I guess Jason also. Jason, how do you because you're caffeinated today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like your coffee, huh?
There's this brand of soy-based creamer that I love more than anything. So I use that. And what's the sweetener we use? It's not allulose. It's monk fruit. So yeah,
Monk fruit. Yeah, monk fruit is a good substitute.
so good.
Definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's pretty much mostly it for our social media.
Nice.
The only other headline I have here is the reminder to be careful of scammers. They're out there. They're definitely sending DMs trying to steal your wallet information. They're trying to pretend like they're selling you stuff. They're trying to pretend like they're customer support. Just if anybody's sending you DMs and they look even remotely fishy, just don't talk to them.
Man, it's not even Gala, right? It's everywhere. Like I set up a wallet. I won't name the company, but I set up a wallet on a very popular mainstream wallet site. And within a few hours, I had all this spam in my inbox sending me like, 1/1000th of a penny worth of their altcoin and a link to some shady website. Don't click that, guys.
Yeah, it's awful out there.
Yep. Well, you want to hear some game updates?
Yes.
All right. Well, there's fixes and features. We'll do fixes first. There were some timer problems with the marshmallow crafts, and that's been fixed. There were, again, some units for holding things upside down. That's always funny. That's been fixed. And there was a bug where, this is going to be a little long, but bear with me. When any Tesla coil was placed next to like a fabric plant and the legendary fabric already had energy, and then you removed one of the two, removed the Tesla coil, gosh, it's early. Then the energy that you already had stored in the fabric plant disappeared. Not the passive, but the stuff you stuck in there. So that's been fixed. So that's nice. and there were Thanksgiving shift. There were some things missing, and then they've been fixed. And then the barista and the lumberjack items have been permitted. Now, the big question, and Farmer Michelle's been getting asked all night and for a few days, is about stuck units around the ATV. Found the root cause. We're working on it. It's not necessarily a pure data problem, so we had to dig a little deeper on that. So that is a work in progress for that fix. And there's a couple other things. I don't really like to talk about what we're like immediately working on usually. I'd rather stick to the stuff that has gone through QA and it's ready to go live. So yeah, so I'll just cut the list off there. And then for the features, we have a new type of hey, now if you're listening, we're working on it. That's what I was just saying. You might be a few seconds behind. Yeah, for the features, we're doing this thing. It's a distance-based buff. So correct me if I'm wrong, Riant, but it's basically an inverse salty or an inverse of casting shade or dirty or whatever. So think about a distance base. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it's a feature that helps things in a proximity around it. It doesn't provide commodities, which we have lots of those, but it can boost certain aspects of the game, maybe craft time improvements, for example. So that's really cool. That is in progress. That is being tested right now. We have some upcoming NFTs, implementations for those. There were a few code changes we had to make, and some news about our Townstar nodes. If anybody listening has bought the Townstar nodes, I know the game is called Common Ground World, but when we sold those nodes, they were called Townstar nodes. Those will be available as NFTs pretty soon. It's one of our other team full of big brains here at Gala. They're working on that, and they are on schedule, and it's looking good. And it should be out pretty soon. They should be converted, I should say, pretty soon. And wonder, like, why do I care as a player? Well, it'd be an NFT, so you could do with it whatever you do with any other NFT, right? And because our team didn't have to do that work, that freed us to work on the game so that when those nodes are NFTs, we're going to be able to detect them just like any other NFT in the game. So it'll unlock the ability for us to say, hey, if you're a node owner, maybe make something more sparkly or whatever. It's a big piece to our guild's work as well. So speaking of guilds, progress is going on well there. We're doing the invites, and I don't think we're doing kicking today, but all the UI around that, picking your guild logo and all the fun customization that you get to do there. Guild tags, I think, are limited to 4 characters. Give me some feedback, or Riant or whoever if you want. If you need, for some reason, 5. But we're sticking with 4 right now. Most of you guys are 3-letter guilds anyway. And yeah, and then the other stuff I want to mention real quick. I won't take all day on the features, but I always try to give props to our backend guys every week. And their proof of concept for the load testing and the auto scaling, which anybody listening who knows about Kubernetes might know about some of the challenges if you want to scale by something other than RAM and CPU and stuff like that, or you want to do intelligent matchmaking. That proof of concept has gone really well this week. I saw a lot of really good progress and really good milestones met, so I'm really positive on that work. And that will be passed on you guys in the form of cool features pretty soon.
How exciting.
Yeah, I think we had a question here, but it's not tagged. Riant, do you want to ask well, I'll just ask. I'm already talking. Community, people, what do you think should be in the starter pack for new players? $10 each. Yeah. We have ideas, but
yeah, what would you think that would help a new user to get a heads up?
Let us know in the chat, guys. Don't be shy.
Jekten is Node NFT pretty soon. That means this month. in a couple weeks, as I understand it.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll happen before the end of this month, but definitely soon.
I'm excited about that. That's a nice feature.
Yeah, it's going to be a big step forward.
Yeah. Mr. Puddles. That's an idea.
That's a good one, Mr. Puddles. I do love Mr. Puddles. He's adorable. I try to make sure that I use him every week, even if I don't have to, just because he's so cute, and I like to see him walk around with water.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. What do we got? We have Q&A we've collected over the week. You wanted us to share something again, Farmer Michelle, like a link, or there's a little note about making sure everybody knows where to do that.
Oh, yeah, I'll show the link to the form.
Oh, a page road. Hey, Rianne, I thought your answer yesterday when we were talking about the starter pack was really interesting. Would you mind going back to that topic for a sec and explaining like what kind of
Sure.
NFTs would features of those NFTs would be good for new players that wouldn't necessarily make sense to buy over and over?
Right. So since it's an entry NFT, it doesn't necessarily have to be only one. It could be like a pack of entry-level NFTs for like really simple crafts. So we don't want to incentivize owning a lot of them. Just the only one to make an early boost for new players. So they probably would be unstockable. So you don't have incentives to get more than one, just the one. And yeah, overall help you with early crafts like, I don't know, wheat or flour. We are exploring those kind of abilities on them.
That's cool. Yep, I think that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
I see Beacon of Light, legendary, just like that's probably way too OP.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's throw those right in the starter pack.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, that'd be really neat.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's move on to Q&A. The first question I have here says, there's a milk/trough bug in the game where the cows and ATVs get stuck. Is this being addressed? And will there be compensation? The answer to will there be compensation is no. There's not going to be any compensation for in-game bugs. If a bug does get really bad, we will, cancel an event on occasion, but that doesn't happen very often. There are workarounds for this. I've seen plenty of people saying as long as you've got 3 ATVs, they no longer get stuck. So that would be my suggestion if you're having issues with them getting stuck. I've also seen that if you have more feed bots, they tend to get stuck. So maybe for the time being, skip the feed bots and use the ATVs instead. But like Volcron said earlier, we are making some progress on it. It's just a little bit more complicated than just a basic data fix. So
yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm looking at the code changes the guys have made right now. So yeah, pretty annoying bug, but we'll have it fixed.
The next question I have here. Oh, did you want to ask the question? Since
Yeah,
I think
can
I
I
have
ask
to
you?
answer it. Yeah.
Farmer Michelle, Town Stars, when will they be back?
I would assume that this question means earning. That's the only thing I can think that they would mean by Town Stars. When will they be back? If you were asking about earning, it's set for Q2 in our roadmap, so not quite yet. It is still only Q1, so it'll be at least a couple months, if not, a few months, 4 or 5 months before we get earnings going. There's a couple more things we've got to get done before earnings can go, and we've still got to get that light paper approved by legal and then release a second version here for the public, and then it might go through another iteration. I know we had said right in the beginning that there might be multiple iterations before it's final. Then it's also going to go through a test round with the soft token, before it goes live with the new token. So earning with an actual token could be longer than Q2, but at least for the soft token part, should be live in Q2.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that, like, depending on what software team you're working with or whatever, sometimes people will do planning where nobody sees anything until it's 100% perfect. But one thing that I love about Gala is they're like, well, yeah, like, we're going to do earnings. Obviously, we're going to turn it back on, and we're going to distribute whatever, like, actual coin with the earnings is available at the time. But as an interim step to prove out our transaction systems and backend and all that nerdy stuff, how about we do something with the soft coin? And we prove that the earning works, that it's safe, that it's, not able to be cheated, all that good stuff. I'm glad you brought that up. That's as a player, I would hope that I could see the feature before it goes live with, like, real coins. So that is our plan. Let me ask you the next question, Michelle. Should have support for Portuguese in the game. It's difficult to follow. A little bit of extra wording there. I think they're saying, how do I get Discord announcements in Portuguese? Is that what they're asking?
I think that's what they're asking. Yeah, it seems like whoever this person was is having trouble with the NFT allowance process and don't know how to do it because all of our announcements are in English and they don't speak English. There are different language channels for, gotta be almost all of the languages. At the bottom of the Discord, you can also go to the role selection channel and choose your language, and then you'll get the notifications for announcements in those languages also. There's also customer support in pretty much all the languages you can think of. So if you have a question and you don't know the answer to it, reach out to customer support and someone can translate things for you. About the NFT allowance thing, there wasn't any in-game notification for it in English either, so you wouldn't have found it there, even if you did know English. It's really just a process that you had to do on the platform with the website, not inside the game. So definitely reach out to customer support if you're having trouble understanding something and it's only in English, and they can translate it for you. I know there's quite a large Portuguese speaking community here in the community, and that channel is quite active down there at the bottom of the Discord. So check it out if you have any questions. If you're in the chat, you don't know where it is, just ask, and someone in the chat will help you find it. There's plenty of helpful people right here in the main chat that'll help you find a different language channel if you're struggling. But definitely always reach out if you need help, even if it's in a different language. Someone will find it, someone will translate it, it'll get answered. Don't be shy.
Okay. Next one is, can we vote and choose a meta rather than just being given a vanilla meta? Would be better if the community voted. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think we talked about this last week, actually, that said that we were going to start switching over to doing that. So we'll probably be switching over to doing polls instead of just doing a standard vanilla. There'll probably be like a few different options, and we'll let everybody choose from, 4 or 5 options each time.
Would that be just a regular Discord poll, or is that something we would stick in, like, the node interface?
I don't know. The node interface would definitely be cool. We'll probably have to start with just Discord, but once the nodes and stuff go live, I think that'd be a super cool place to put it.
Yeah, it would be. Okay. Interesting. All right. Oh, this one's for me. What's happening?
I'll read the question.
Oh, okay. You read the question. Sorry.
What's happening with the connectivity issues? Since 2 weeks ago, the comp server keeps disconnecting. What happens if while night we have 1 hour of disconnect and then the connect comes back? Do we lose all those sales during the hour?
Oh, interesting. No, so if you're seeing a little blinky globe thing, I don't know how nerdy we want to get on this, but basically, blinky globe means saves are not happening, and that could be due to somebody's upgraded a connection on the back end, or we've refreshed our database servers or whatever. The gameplay server's different thing, but if you see a little blinky globe icon, that means saves are not happening. If you're playing and it goes away, that means your town successfully saved. So anything you're seeing on the screen that the server has approved, right, that's going to be committed and saved. There are a couple things contributing to this. One of them is actually going to be the fix is going to be going live pretty soon. For a long time, and I mention this almost every AMA, Godot's networking has just been it's fine for like little games or whatever, but we have this highly competitive, multiplayer game basically. Yeah, all your towns are single player, but it's multiplayer, with the leaderboard and everything. And each server has, I don't want to give you a number, but it has a certain number of players on it. And we were just exceeding Godot's capacity on that. So one of our awesome devs, actual Godot expert here, has written a thing that will improve the networking, which will address some of the non-save issues that we're seeing. It's like our number one bug when we look at the logs in production, like what's plaguing us. That's the number one cause of errors is network messaging from Godot's engine. So that has hit QA already. They've been banging on it for a week or so. We're happy with how it's looking, and we'll see fewer errors going forward.
Sweet. That'll definitely be nice to see if there's less disconnection. So let us know in the chat if you feel like it's getting better or getting worse. I know you guys are pretty good at letting us know, so just keep in the communication.
Yeah, please. Let's see, next one for you. I can't tell. It says, "Oh, people want to know: are we going to do the map again? Probably with Land Rush and everything."
I don't think there are any plans to return to Land Rush. I don't think there are any plans to return to a global map. Like we said before, at some point there probably will be multiple options to choose from when you're picking your initial starter town, but that is probably a ways off still. But for now, it's just the one town to choose from.
How about
no map?
Yeah, how about the picking a distance, like different cities and stuff? Do you or Riant have any insight into that? The roadmap?
Well, we'll always taking account in new things to add to the roadmap. Right now, we are fully focused in promises, but we might have some fun things coming on soon.
Oh, interesting.
I don't want to spoil too much because we don't have like dates, but probably fun things will come up soon.
Okay,
I like
so that
fun things.
Yeah, I like fun. Adds a little strategy too, right? Like if one city is closer but doesn't pay as much for wheat, the one's farther pays more for wheat but takes more gas, that kind of thing. Okay, looks like the next question was about earning, which we've already answered. Let's see. I'll read this question. I don't think it's for me. I think there will be no jewelry items in the top 100 rankings in the ongoing meta anything goes. You recently adjusted the points of the jewelry set. Do you have any plans to modify the points of the jewelry items additionally?
I mean, potentially. There's no plans to modify anything right now. I kind of put a pause on it for a bit while we look at some more data and assess what's going on and see how the rates of everything are going before we make any more big moves. We did a lot of changes real quick there for a bit, so we're going to wait for a little while. I don't know that anything in jewelry is a high enough tier to compete with something like stack boxes. There's a solid chance that like jewelry set will never be able to beat stack boxes. We just need some more higher tier crafts that'll compete with stack boxes is what we need. So we'll get there. But yeah,
People love those boxes.
That's that. We do have more jewelry stuff coming. We had promised more jewelry metas when it first came out, and then people wanted to back off with jewelry for a while because I think everyone got tired of doing jewelry for so many weeks in a row. So we're taking a break from jewelry, but there will be jewelry back again. We'll see. Maybe we can get some more higher tier jewelry crafts in there.
Oh man, we got a lot of questions this week. I thought we were near the end. We're halfway through.
Let's speed through them. The next one says, we still want all NFTs available on GALACHAIN. Will you stop dodging the question and answer the answer to why this is not since GALACHAIN was forced? I mean, the older NFTs that were already minted on the Ethereum network and are in the store they're already on the Ethereum network, so they're not on GALACHAIN. New NFTs will be on GALACHAIN. When we switched the game over from Ethereum to GALACHAIN and launched on GALACHAIN and started selling things on GALACHAIN, that was when things started being sold on GALACHAIN. But the ones in the past, I certainly don't have a magic wand or a time portal, so I can't go back in time and remake those NFTs on GALACHAIN, so they're on Ethereum already.
Mm.
If there's something more specific that question meant, let me know. But
yeah, I've been really impressed with GALACHAIN too. I'm glad we did that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how long will we have to wait for the promised jewelry metas and artifacts? Or will you keep making... Yeah, okay, I'm not going to... How long will we have to wait for the promised jewelry metas?
It's always the comments at the ends of the questions that are just
Yes.
not very nice. Our next jewelry meta is going to be in the end of February, so I think Dubstep also just asked that as a live question. So the end of February is when the next jewelry meta is going to be.
Cool. Many new crafts and new metas just come and go, never to return. As so do the person saying this says this, not Volcron. So do the NFTs sold for the specific meta. My question is, will coffee be the same thing?
I'm not 100% sure what you mean. Like nothing comes and goes. Well, the only craft that ever did come and go was that red steel, and that was previously announced to have been temporary just for the 1 week that it did exist. But all the other crafts are still in the game. Nothing ever leaves the game once it enters the game. You can always continue to make coffee whenever you want. If you enjoy coffee, that's the whole point of the game is to be able to make whatever you'd like to make. It's it's your game. Have fun with it. It may not be the meta for the event that week, but that doesn't mean you can't make it. I mean, once earning goes live, you can make whatever you want, whenever you want, and you can earn making coffee all the time if that's what you'd prefer to make.
Facts. Can we add a skip fast forward option when we just want to access one of the modes and not nuke the town? Yes, that's a great idea. QA asked for it recently as well. It could either be a per town setting or per account setting, or maybe even a separate little button. Instead of play, it'd be play with no fast forward. Whatever. We'll get our UI on it. That would be a relatively lightweight fix. So yeah, figure out how we can fit that in. Thanks for the suggestion. Let's see. Oh yeah, this last one, I think. Do you want me to take that?
Yeah, I'll read the question. As you mentioned before, the auto construction of building will stay as it is now. There could then be an option so that salaries do not start counting until the till the product to craft is selected, and not automatically when the building is done. So I think they're referring to like autocomplete of construction and how wages just start as soon as the building finishes.
Yeah, I can see how people would want control over that. What would you guys think about a per town config toggle? Because it could be a little overwhelming if you had a whole new dialogue where you said, okay, out of these 70 buildings, on or off, you might not want that. But maybe just a setting per town. Like fast forward, for example, is currently per town setting, right? So that would be cool. And then, yeah, and just like the old Play Canvas version, it would not start taking wages until you actually clicked on it. So, cool idea. Let's see. I'll see what the team thinks.
I definitely think it's cool. I think a toggle would be nice for autocomplete, because there are definitely some times when I'm building that I just kind of want to work ahead and build a bunch of stuff that I know I'm not going to be able to use right away, but I've got the construction materials to build them. And I wish that I could, build them up but not have them be finished yet, so that they're ready to go when I'm ready to go, but not taking wages.
Smart. I think that was it for the ahead of time Q&A on the forum. Let's see, live Q&A. Oh, I'll start from bottom up. Carbon, I'll take the easy one. What's the difference between common ground and casual? Well, Carbon, try them out. You have nothing to lose and only things to gain by trying both. Common ground mode is meant to be more themed toward regenerative agriculture. So that's why when you load that mode, you'll see like 78 or whatever % of your town is spoiled soil. Let's say that 10 times real fast. So you need to, on a tiny little postage stamp of a town, make enough money to restore the soil, like click to remove, basically. The casual mode is where most people just practice for the upcoming competition. So that's a big difference. The other one is timing, of course. Like wheat takes, 15 minutes in common ground mode? So
Yeah, something like
it's
that.
way more casual, and it's meant to be, and there's no wages. So it's meant to be way more new user friendly as well.
Yeah, there's no wages, no proximity. There's no shade or dirty or any of that. There's no auto trade there. There's no gasoline required to sell anything. Whereas the casual mode is pretty much the competition mode.
Postman was asking, when will casual mode get a leaderboard?
It will not. That will not happen. There's really no point in having a leaderboard on the casual mode, because if people are just gonna run their towns, the whole point of casual is to run your town for forever. It doesn't need to be restarted. If there's a leaderboard, then someone will just end up on the top and they'll be there for the rest of eternity, because it'll never restart and new people will never be able to get to that point. So like having a leaderboard there doesn't really seem all that useful to me, since it won't really mean anything. You'll always just be ranked wherever you started, and everyone who started before you will always be in front of you, and everybody who started after you will always be behind you.
Couch Potato, when will we have a public production rate or public production monitor? That's interesting idea, I guess. I don't know how you would, like, you'd go to our website and go to a friends list and see their give us some examples on that. Time Machine, why does nobody like the idea of a starting town with 200 trees?
Oh my gosh, that sounds awful.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't have any problem with all the trees in the starting map. I have always said that forest is my preferred starting biome. I wish we could start with a forest all the time. I like having all of those nice big trees there ready to go. And you don't have to worry about planting trees. You can just slowly get rid of them as you go. They're not really in the way if you're slowly building. But 200 trees would be a bit much. It'd be hard. They're very expensive to remove early, so it would be a very slow start if the whole town was covered in trees. If even possible. We'd have to make wheat sell for like 40,000 so that you could remove your trees.
Oh, I see. So the production rate thing was, when we're looking at the leaderboard, could we have some indication of what's going on with that town's production rate? So that would be interesting. I guess you could maybe summarize it like sales per hour, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? Wouldn't that kind of give away like other players' strategies? Like, hey, how's number one doing? What's he selling? Oh shoot, I should sell that too. Like that kind of a thing. Like, yeah, I don't know. Is there beta NLO? Isn't there a way for fast forward to be monitored in the leaderboard? So like beta, are you asking, can we see who has been offline and how long they've been offline for? That is a possibility, if that's what you're asking.
It would be pretty cool if there was like a little icon that showed on the leaderboard if somebody was like not online and fast forwarding, so that you could, just so you would know, like all these people around me are currently offline, so I know when they come back online they're probably going to jump in front of me because they've obviously got points stored up that are just not showing up yet.
Let's see, Nubra, wouldn't be nice to see like 20 products in the production monitor? We really need this. 20. There's no limit, right? Why would... I guess I don't understand that question.
What was the question that you're reading?
He's saying it would be nice to see 20 products in the production monitor.
I mean, you can see everything in the production monitor. You just have to scroll. I mean, if we wanted it to list 20 without scrolling, the font would be super, super tiny. You'd need like a magnifying glass up to your PC to be able to see it. But you can see everything that you've got in your production monitor. You just have to scroll down. It scrolls up and down. We wanted it to keep it small so that it covers up the least amount of space possible in your town so you can see more of your town, which was the reason we shrunk it up a bit.
Oh, man.
Scroll bar in.
I am loving all these questions. Time Machine, with the UI stuff. Yeah, the jumping and autosell, that is annoying, right? The production monitor, full size on the screen to see every product. That seems like that would be an easy fix, right? Just make it bigger. But a lot of people play with it on the side so they can keep an eye on it. So, yeah, I'll capture that and talk to team a little bit.
Like a way to make it scalable so you could see more if you wanted to, but not if you didn't.
Yeah. Or maybe even an expand and minimize. Well, we have minimize, but...
Yeah.
Okay. Sales per hour in the production. Oh, so many questions about the production monitor. Gandalf the Grey. Can we get a mode with no building costs so we could quickly make or test our builds? Not only that, we have talked about a pure sandbox mode. Well, that's what we call casual, but even a try before you buy mode, where you can experiment and you could place maybe the NFT of the week in your town and see how it affects your current builds, things like that. So it's another one to bring up as well. I think that would be handy. What do you think, Michelle? Like when people are evaluating an NFT, would that be a Reant? Like if you could log into the game and in a non-competition town, stick that NFT in there, you wouldn't earn from it, and you don't own it, but as a preview mode.
Yeah, it's a business question. Really,
Yeah.
some companies like to let people test things before they buy them. Some companies don't. It has pros, it has cons. So there's more things to consider there than just gameplay, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, I agree with Farmer Michelle. Yeah.
Okay.
So as much as it sounds super cool from like a gameplay user perspective, it may not be the best business decision. And, you do have to think about things like that also.
Okay. Bruce Man, another UI question. The building pop-ups, we make those sticky. I guess so you want to pin it, right? That's an interesting idea. People asking about different sized towns. That's possible. Yeah, one person's like, win 64 by 64. Yeah, all this is possible. It's just about game design and balance.
Yeah, I mean, technically the town now is 64 by 64. They're just smaller tiles. That was what we went with when we went with the subgrid instead of doing everything 1 by 1 and making it 16 by 16. The point of making it so that each 16 by 16 tile was actually 4 small tiles was so that we could start developing, buildings and NFTs and crafts that were odd shaped or smaller shaped and all of that. And we've done some of that, not a ton so far, but there are some NFTs and like statues and decorations and things that are smaller sized. We've just been more focused on bigger projects right now and not so much worried about those other details.
Yeah, that's a good point Noper makes. He says, a sandbox mode, and I'm going to add in for him, even without preview of NFTs, a sandbox mode would give content creators ideas for videos and promote the game. Oh, he says, but all NFTs need to be inside.
I definitely think it would be nice to have a town where you didn't have to worry about construction requirements or building costs, and you could build real quick and demolish things and test things real fast. And that would come in handy.
Yeah. That's interesting. Maybe that could be like a little mode when you go to competition. There might be one that's always like practice competition.
Yeah, just called practice.
And everything's free.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. And maybe even a little faster. So people run at double speed or whatever.
I'll have to check with Wild Moopsy. That would be one extra mode that he'd have to edit data for every single week. There's already the 2, so...
Yeah, that's a good point. Chrisman says, NFTs for buffs should not take the full tile, i.e. the spookies. What do you think about that, Farmer Michelle?
I mean, I don't know. I appreciate your opinion. I mean, some NFTs that are buffs don't take up full tiles. Some do. It's usually a decision made when we set the, the price and the quantity and all that. The size of the NFT is decided around that time,
Go top-down view.
I see Math the captain is asking about NFT folders and different ways to sort the NFT inventory, which would be nice. I know we've mentioned like favorites before and stuff, which would be really cool. The search feature definitely comes in handy, and I use that for every time I'm in the NFT inventory. Really anywhere. If I'm in the store, I use search anywhere. It's just easier. It's easier for me personally to just search for things instead of scrolling. I'm not a huge fan of scrolling. But yeah, favorites folder or something would be cool, so you can sort them and be like, these are the ones I want to use this week, and you can pre-fill it with all the ones you're going to use for the week and not have to worry about seeing all the other ones. Like if you're not going to use your solar panel that week, you can just keep it out of that folder so you don't have to worry about looking at it. I could see that definitely being helpful, especially for people that don't use search. I think on mobile, it's probably not as easy to use search. I know that tiny little pop-up on my phone is obnoxious. It's very small. I don't like using it. What else we got for live questions? I had one from earlier that says, when meta announcement within the game, introducing new crafts and meta details for what's boosted in stars and cash. And we can definitely do that. It would just be in one of those pop-ups, like all the pop-ups you get right in the beginning of the event, but it wouldn't happen until that event went live, because that's when all that data goes live. So like it all comes out at the same time. But we could certainly add a pop-up that lists the meta details if that's what you want. It's really not that hard to do. So I guess let me know if that's what you want us to do, and we'll add another pop-up there. Yeah, but when? I mean, we can do that right now. Like, we could do it easily for next week. If that's what you want, we can certainly do that. That is something extremely easy to do. It's really just if people want us to do it or not, is what it comes down to. I think that's all I had for live questions, though. Does anyone have any more live questions out there? I suppose we could move on to talking about when a half-hour comp. Hey, while you're out there watching, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up key. Share it with your friends. So many live questions this week. Look at them all here. All right, let's move on to some competition info then. I know you've got most of the information already from Leaky Wednesday. I know I put those crafts in the official document a day in advance, so people could even see them Tuesday night. Well, Tuesday night my time. It may have been Wednesday. I know some people like Poison live in the future. So your Thursday is my Wednesday. So it's really Leaky Thursday for you. I apologize about that. This next week's event is going to be Hot Cocoa, which I think all of you know. It's going to be made in the cafe, which is why it's a coffee meta. I saw some people were a little salty that it didn't have coffee beans in it, but we were calling it a coffee meta. It's in the cafe, so it was all part of the same theme, which is why we called it the same theme. The craft requirements for hot cocoa are 2 chocolate bars, 1 milk, 1 ceramic mug, a water drum, and a marshmallow. Marshmallows are also going to be new this week. They'll be made with 1 sugar, 1 cornstarch, 1 salt, and 1 water. Those will be made in the candy shop. The hot cocoa is going to be made, like I said, right in the cafe. The biome this week is forest. There are not 200 trees, despite what Time Machine would prefer. There are a standard amount of trees on that forest biome. It does have an oil seep. It's got a mountain, an ocean, a forest, and a riverside. Initial cache is the same as normal. It's still just 1 gasoline, though we haven't done a 2 or 3 gasoline one in a while, so we might have to consider doing one. Those are always fun. The trade time will be 180 seconds for standard trades, so it will be bigger. Let me get a picture of that starter town, the full town, and post it for everybody. There it is. Let's put it right here in the chat. There is your full starter town. That's what it's going to look like. So you've got your salt water and your regular water. Got your mountain, in case you want to use it for your chromium this week. And there it is. Everybody's still liking all these new starter towns? Feel free to give me your feedback at any point in time if you do or do not like something about them, or if you have any ideas, if you want to do something super fun. I think that's all I have for this competition. Oh, the only other thing about this competition is not only is it a standard gala rewards this week, but there is a blueprint. So it will be the Hasty Barista blueprint this week. I'll make sure that when I post the competition information, I post that the rewards list that has the column on it that lists what ranks get which NFT, because it's been a while since we've done one, so that everybody remembers. And in order to get that uncommon one, you'll need to sell 100 at least of the hot cocoa craft, and then you'll qualify for that uncommon reward. So if you haven't been playing for whatever reason, this is a good week to come back. This NFT reward, you've only got to sell 100 hot cocoa. So join up, make some hot cocoa, sell it, and get a free NFT for playing. That is all I have for the next competition. I don't think I talked about any cash boosts. Let's make those cash boosts this week are chromium and marshmallows. So nothing super easy to get to. You'll have to build up to get to your cash boost. It might be a little bit of a slower start than normal. But chromium's going to be 12,000 instead of 4,600, and marshmallows are going to be boosted up to 18,000 instead of their standard 9,000. The stars for hot cocoa will be 100,000. Yeah, and that's definitely it now. The sale we have this week, which will be going live later today, as far as I know, Riant. I think so. That is the hot cocoa chalet.
Sorry, I was muted, right?
Yeah, nobody. If you were talking, no one heard you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's today at 11 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, it's
cool. So a couple hours.
Yeah.
Awesome. That NFT will specifically reduce the craft time of just marshmallows and hot chocolate to only adjacent tiles by 40%, and it does not stack. Marshmallows and hot cocoa are made in 2 different buildings, so you'll have to organize your town appropriately around your hot cocoa chalet if you get one. So plan ahead for that. It's just adjacent tiles, 40% craft time reduction, which is a pretty big craft time reduction for marshmallows and hot chocolate. And again, it does not stack with itself. So if you put 2 next to each other, you do not get an 80% reduction in craft time. It'll still just be the standard 40. It does stack with other NFTs though, like the the Miranda skins and the corrupted packs and all of that. All the things that would normally happen, just not with itself. I believe I put up a picture of it the other day in the announcements, the in-game art. I did. is a beautiful little chalet. I'll repost it again here in the discussion for everybody. There it is. Our art team does such an amazing job on this art lately. Love that little chalet.
That's so cool. I love the art we're coming out with lately. The concept art for well, I don't want to say what it is, but the upcoming thing, the roof on it is so cute. Man.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The art team is killing it. Yeah.
I see somebody asking about the price. The price for this guy is $300. There's going to be $300 in the store. That'll be purchasable with Gala ETH credit cards. All the stuff. So nice to have credit cards back. Thank you all for being patient as we went through that process with no credit card sales for a while. It's very nice to have them back and working. Yes, I see someone asking if the coffee cart will still help with craft time in the coffee shop. Yeah, it's like any other NFT that reduces the craft time for a whole building and not just a specific craft. It'll reduce the craft time of new crafts in the building as well as ones that are already there. Just like the the lol and pop shops will make marshmallows, even though they did not previously. They will now because they're candy shops and it's a new craft. I see someone asking about the ATV bug again. Yes, we already talked about it twice, actually, since this town hall started. So Volcron talked about it right in the beginning, and then we talked about it like halfway through as well. So if you want to hear what we had to say, just start back from the beginning. Poison, that sounds like a bug, and I will make sure that the QA team knows, and we'll get it looked at. Does anybody have any other live questions for us here? We got like 8 more minutes before we all got to go. Doesn't look like there are any more live questions. You're welcome, Poison. I know I had mentioned a couple weeks ago that there was going to be a community survey. It has not gone out yet. I apologize for that. I will get that out. I'll try to get that out later today. It's almost done. When random rank reward. I don't think that there's any plans to do any types of random rank rewards. Yes, Math, there will be coffee beans in the 3rd week of coffee metas. Yes, Nacho. Gingerbreads will reduce craft time for candy shops, and marshmallows are in candy shops. So yes.
Yeah, I've got there's so much feedback in this town hall. I've got it all sorted. I'm summarizing it right now for our QA and to the dev team to look at. Looks like some easy wins and a lot of this stuff. Or Michelle mentioned, of course, the dragon should be able to fly over a mountain, right?
Yeah, I don't know why I wouldn't be able to place next to a mountain. I'm sure it's probably just coded for open world instead of any tile. So we'll just fix that. That should be easy to fix. I say that now. I'm not an engineer, so don't quote me. What is the craft time of marshmallows? That's an easy one. I can find that real fast. It is already in that standard point stock, though. I put it in there on Tuesday. Let's see. Marshmallow. Craft time for marshmallows is 360 seconds. The stars for those are 165, and they sell for 9,000, except for this week where they're cash boosted. The Discord bot commands for those are also already set up, so you can do those. And the TS meta command is already updated with next week's event information for you guys. All right, if there's no more live questions, I suppose we'll be heading back to work.
It's been fun. Oh,
All right,
salty
yep.
marshmallows. Thanks for a great town hall, Farmer Michelle, Riant, Ninja Surprise.
Thank you, guys, and thanks everyone for tuning in. And happy Friday.
Yep,
Thanks,
don't forget
everyone.
one more time, make sure you like and subscribe. Then you'll get notifications for when the next ones are coming out. Share it with your friends. All right, everybody have a good
All right.
weekend.
Awesome.
Have a
We'll
good
see you
too.
next week.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.